Welcome to a Skyrim Addict podcast, where I will discuss my adventures and misadventures through Skyrim. Join me. Add your stories. Add your tales. Let's get into this thing. Oh, welcome everyone. Skyrim Addict podcast, take 2. I just recorded an entire show. And it was completely screwed up. And now I have to record the whole thing all over again. Welcome back. Solo show this week. Old school. If you enjoy the podcasts, this one, Fallout Feed, Chatterbox, please go to iTunes, rate the shows on iTunes. It helps us very much with searchability. And if you use Amazon, check out the Amazon link in the show notes. And a little bit comes back this way for that. Anyway. So I just recorded a half-hour solo episode, and GarageBand did not recognize my mixer that whole time. So I was recording from the internal mic on the computer from like 5 feet away, and it was echoing and all kinds of great sounds, and it was fantastic. It was a good episode. I wish you guys could have heard it. Anyway. So I'm going to talk a little Skyrim at first with some emails, and then I'm going to get into my play, what I've been doing. I've been playing Oblivion. So let's see. Let me start. If you remember, on the last roundtable, we had an email where there was an alt start in Blackreach with Dark Elf Necromancer using Requiem, Frostfall, Hunterborn, and Realistic Needs. So we have an update. We have a couple updates for that. Let me pop those in. Let me go to the correct one. Let's see. I think it's this one. All right. Here's a short update. So this is from McBeta. I hope I'm saying that correctly. That is the name that is signed on the email. I think I used his actual name last time. I apologize if you didn't want that. So another short update. He took on Destruction, Conjuration, and Light Armor as his initial perks, roundtable style. Destruction is using Fire Sparks and Lightning Sparks. Conjuration, he's using Bound Sword and Skeletal Warrior. And then he realized he made a mistake with the Bound Sword because he has no real sword skills as of yet. I feel like I did this before. These things happen sometimes, but so he did make it out of Blackreach, which is amazing, and exited off-hand left and headed down towards the Nightgate Inn, where he ran into 2 trolls right near Forsaken Cave. So he ducked inside. He planned on waiting a couple hours to see if the trolls would be gone, but he couldn't wait because of the enemies in the cave, and there was an ice wolf in there. So he unleashed his Skeletal Warrior, and he lasted about 12 seconds without dying. So he hid around the corner in the dark, and then, conjured Sir Boney to get rid of the wolf eventually. So he warmed up by the burning pot at the bottom of the Forsaken Cave before venturing on, because obviously he needs to stay warm as well because of the mods. Let me get to the next part here. I apologize. I had all these organized previously. So he headed up the hill to the Nightgate Inn, chased very slowly by a troll, which kept bellowing at him and running into rocks and boulders, which is odd. I don't know. I had a great joke about how the troll was probably drunk because he had eaten some travelers from the Nightgate Inn and their blood alcohol content was really high. And who knows what a troll's susceptibility to alcohol is. I mean, who knows? They may not drink a lot. They may be drunk. I had that one. Feels real stale now because I already said it. And I came up with it off the cuff, and I thought it was really great. But anyway, maybe the troll got drunk off of, we'll pretend like it didn't happen. Maybe a troll got drunk off eating some revelers from the Nightgate Inn. We don't know his susceptibility to alcohol, and perhaps their blood alcohol level is very high. So that was weird. He dropped Boney off every 15 seconds or so and just kept going up to the end. So he slept and ate at the inn before heading down to the river's edge, and because he needed to avoid the road. He worked his way back downriver to the mill, chopped some wood, started a fire to warm up, and because his mage robes really are not keeping him warm. No, probably not. They don't look like the warmest thing in the world. He did a lot of foraging en route and built up a fair collection of alchemic ingredients. Spotted an ice wolf up ahead just outside Windhelm, but a couple of red guards who had been hassling a red guard woman killed it before I could get down there. And he so wanted to die with his throat ripped out by an ice wolf several times before eventually getting Boney to do the deed. His reception in Windhelm was less than friendly, so after potion making, buying and selling a few things, he decided to head south to Whiterun by carriage. And he'll be back to settle a few scores later on. Yeah, not the most friendly place you walk into, Windhelm. Especially as a Dunmer, they're not super likable. I mean, the people in Windhelm don't like anybody else who's not Nord. He arrived at the dead of night and headed up to the Bannered Mare, updated his journal, and now off to bed. Hopefully he'll get a decent night's sleep. But the bard in there only knows 2 songs, and he's really crap. Yeah, Mikhail is not the greatest of bards, but could be worse. He could know 1 song. It could be worse. So he's excited about the Necromancers and Roundtable as well. I am as well. I am excited to start the Necromancer Roundtable. That's going to be fun. I'm not sure if it's going to be everybody doing a Necromancer. I think most of us are. So we'll see how that goes. But I definitely am. Definitely. All right. So he decided to move on to Riverwood and get to the Standing Stones, because remember, he had an alt start, so he didn't get the Standing Stones in the beginning by leaving Helgen and all that. And his magicka isn't really high to sustain Boney, so went to the Magic Stone. Now, his magicka is at 230, which is pretty good for level 2. Set up camp at the lumber mill in Riverwood, next to it there, and with a fire and his hunter cache. So he got himself involved in the love triangle in Riverwood, the infamous Feindal Sven love triangle, Camilla. And he settled it by telling the truth about the stupid letter. And Sven, the bold Nordic bard, gave him money, but did not give him service as a follower. So now he's on the shit list. There are wolf packs nearby, to the north of town there, up the hill. And his bound sword is improving daily. Boney distracts him, and then he attacks him with sword and flame. Works pretty well on the animals, one at a time. Gets tricky with 2 or more, but then he uses Wolfie and his other summoned beasts. Wolfie does not like when other wolves attack him, so he's a bit more nippy than Boney. Bandits can be problematic, and at the moment, but Wolfie does like to play with them, especially when they're burning. Boney doesn't seem to mind the smoke either. It's good conjuration practice, though. Boney probably doesn't mind the smoking because he has no nostrils and he doesn't have to worry about the smell. So for him, and obviously Wolfie, it's food. So he upgraded his illusion, which gave him Frightening Orb and Dark Vision. So now at least he can see in the dark and sometimes play the boogeyman before they die, and as my sneak skill improves daily. I have to sneak a lot as I am useless at face-to-face encounters. I'm not convinced I've made the correct choices at this stage, but I must mage on regardless. Hunterborn is now playing a major role as I'm foraging for ingredients and getting animal parts for my alchemy. My poisons are coming along, especially with the bound sword. Oh, sorry about that. My throat's a little dry. The decay poison is awesome. Strike, run, and they just fade away to nothing quickly. Oh, that does sound pretty cool. I'm often tempted to make a bow and arrows. I can do that in Hunterborn from Bones and Leather, but I really wish I had the bound bow to remove the temptation. Fort Amol, always around the corner. You may have a hell of a time getting it though, at the low level. He's going to stay here in Riverwood for a bit until he gets to at least level 4 and then head to Winterhold in the Mages College. He may not pass the entrance test though, so keep our fingers crossed. And they're not super keen on assassins. All right, let's let me pull this one up here, and this is the most recent update. So he's made a couple changes at the moment. He's going to wait till level 6 to go to Winterhold, and started a mod called Drogo the Sabercat. He's a tank, but a real pain in the ass. He keeps lying down when not active, usually in the way of doors, of course. Reason for the addition was hoping to get Sven as my follower, but Requiem disabled. That's why I can get Requiem disabled the option. And at this level in Requiem, you really do need a follower, and Boney and Wolfie sometimes just aren't good enough. He's a Dark Elf Hunter, so this is his rationale. So he managed to have in Snorkel his follower. At least that's the story he's going with. So I could see where he could have trained a Sabercat. Maybe he found it as a baby and then raised it up. So there's that. His use of Hunterborn, he uses it primarily to get ingredients for alchemy and the use of Hunter's Cache. Foraging gives an eclectic range of plant and animal ingredients for alchemy and edibles for eating that's recognized by realistic needs. Animals provide a large range of animal type ingredients for alchemy, optional brewing of poisons, and cooking. Both provide enough to get my alchemy up quickly, as some of them can be rare and very powerful. Hunter's Cache is basically a user chest which can be dropped anywhere outside and looks like a large stone. Choose your spot carefully to get it to blend in, but not too carefully, as it does blend in too well sometimes. Yeah, I can imagine if you're in a rocky area. You can have multiple caches. It's a very useful mod. Great for storing. And when you're making crap until storing crap until you're ready to make it or sell it. He's going to remain in Riverwood and keep that as his base of operations. I cleared out Ember Shard Mine and also cleared out the bandits on that bridge on the way to Falkreath. I forget the name of that. We were talking about it on the last round table, as a matter of fact. With Drogo and Boney, I don't die too often, but leveling is slow. His one-handed is creeping along with his conjuration. Destruction increases really slowly for some reason. So maybe he's not using this enough, he says. Let's see. Not starting the main quest, but is going to do the whole of College of Winterhold. He'll remain neutral in the Civil War, hating both sides equally as only a Dunmer can. And he'll give more details as he progresses. Definitely keep us updated. Can't wait to hear where we go next, how the slog to Winterhold goes. That could be a fun one. I guess you could take a carriage up there, though, so that's always possible. But yeah, that sounds like a very fun place, as a matter of fact. So anyway, I have and definitely keep the updates coming, by the way. So I have taken a little, since the last roundtable, I've taken a little Skyrimcation, I guess you could call it, and I've been mostly playing Oblivion as of late, but I played some New Vegas too, but obviously I'm not going to talk about that here. That'll be on the Fallout feed. So I started an Oblivion character. I've been playing some of it on YouTube. If you want to go over there to the channel, ASAPodcasting, there's an Oblivion playlist, and I think there's 3 videos in there right now. I've been doing them live play. So if you subscribe to the channel, when we go live, you should be able to check those out and see. So I started out, I'm a wood elf. Well, first of all, I started out and I had to get the controller working. So Mike from Classic Elder Scrolls, ESOTR, pointed me in the right direction there, and I used Joy to Key and got it kind of all mapped out to how I like it now. I think the only thing I don't have is a wait button. But I just use a keyboard for that. It's not a big deal. Let's see. So I'm a wood elf with a Burst Sign of the Thief, which grants you bonus to agility, speed, and luck. My class is a thief, which means I specialize in stealth, obviously. Level 7 right now. Let's see. Agility's pretty high, 79. Speed's pretty high, 73. Luck is 60. The other one's 30s and 40s. Strength, intelligence. Intelligence is pretty high, 57. Willpower. My major skills are acrobatics, light armor, marksman, mercantile, security, sneak, and speechcraft. Sneak is the highest at 59, and lowest is acrobatics at 37, which means I need to do a lot more jumping. I am in the Fighter's Guild as a journeyman, 9 Divines as a pilgrim, and Mage's Guild as an associate. I kind of just got the 9 Divines thing. from that guy standing outside the Dibellus Temple in Anvil. There's a prophet standing out there, and you can get that. So some of the quests I've completed. I just finished a quest in Anvil, the Unfortunate Shopkeeper, where somebody is breaking into Norbit's shop, and you have to stop them, obviously. That was pretty tough. Those 3 guys were pretty tough, actually, for me to beat. I'm an archer. I only have a steel bow at this point and mostly iron arrows. I have some silver, but I got to save those for the ghosts, obviously. But they were pretty tough. I actually had to leave. I had to run out of his shop and battle them on the docks and kind of use the citizens to help me out. So 2 of them ran outside with me. I was able to get the one. The other one, citizens on the docks started to attack him. Then I went back in and got the main guy. So I was able to get through that. I completed my Anvil recommendation for mages. I screwed up the rat quest for the Fighters Guild, where you go to Arvina's house, and I don't think you're supposed to kill her rats, and I killed her rats. So, but that quest was a little messed up for me. When I activated it, it didn't show up in my available quests, but then when I finished it, it did show up in my completed. So I didn't really know what to do there. So I did end up killing them, which whatever. But then I went and did something else. So I went and did the, what is that called? Unfortunate Shopkeeper. That's how I got that. The Anvil recommendation from the Mages College was the you have to defeat the battle mage on the road up by Brina Inn. Brina, what's that called? Brina Cross Inn, just north of Anvil. You go in there, you say you're a traveling merchant, yada yada. The next, you meet 2 other people there from the guild. You travel the road towards Kvatch, and then you run into the female battle mage who tries to kill you, and then you hopefully kill her. I've been using poisons on my arrows quite a bit, so those have been quite helpful. Because I do have pretty decent. I have all 4 things. I have an apprentice calcinator and novice alembic mortar pestle and retort. So I've been making potions and such, mostly fortify. What is it called? What's the one you make? Restore fatigue or fortify fatigue, which seems to be every ingredient. I made 1 million of those. Let's see, fortify. Yeah, I have some decent. I do have some Nern root. I got to get over to Cinderon. Let's see. Other than that. Let me get back on my quest so I can see where I was. I want to start the Siren's Deception, which is the female gang in Anvil that is preying on the dopey men of Anvil. So I want to get to that one before I leave Anvil, because I'm about to leave Anvil and head to Coral, or Chorrel, however it's said, and do both the Fighters and the Mages College there if I can. I want to go through the Fighters and Mages. I'm not going to do the Oblivion quest, the main quest, the Oblivion Gates right away. I'm going to hold off on that for a bit. I did it relatively recently, the main quest, so I want to kind of do the other stuff first. And I want to get into the Dark Brotherhood as well, because I really like the Dark Brotherhood quest in Oblivion. And I didn't get through that on my last 360 playthrough. I mean, obviously I've done it in the past, but it's been quite a while. Probably been about 6 or 7 years since I've played through the Dark Brotherhood quest in Oblivion. Because I had it and I was going to play it again. This was a long time ago, and I had lent the game to somebody and then never got it back. So there was that. But I did buy myself another copy. So, and I also have it on my PC, which I've been playing on. So I'm gonna concentrate on those things, and I would like to definitely do the pilgrimage for the Knights of the Nine quest, because I'm sure I did it back in the day, but it's been so long since I've done it. I really want to get into it. So I'm going to be playing a bunch of Oblivion coming up. So if you want to watch along with that, you can go on YouTube. I'll be posting things over there and doing some live play over there. I'm working on getting the money to upgrade Battlehorn Castle. Right now, I'm at like 3,000 gold, and I think each upgrade is like 3,400. So I'm just not getting good enough stuff yet, and I can only carry 150 is my weight limit right now. So I got to work on that. I have some feather potions, so I can get through that part. But I want to get through to Mage's College so I can get like a feather ring and get back. Right now, my feather spell isn't working. I'm not high enough level yet. So things like that I are going to come. Once I do, obviously they get a little easier. Right now, my ease burden, I require an alteration skill of 25. What is my alteration skill? Let's see. I don't know. Where do you find that out? I don't even know. I forget where to look that up. Well, anyway, my spells I'm using regularly. Not using that one yet. I have defensive boost, which I just got, but I can't use that yet. I'm using flare, obviously, the fire spell. Heal minor wounds, because I can't use heal major wounds yet. And I can use major life detection. So I am using major life detection. I just switched over from minor life detection, which it's same distance, 60 feet, but one's for 20 seconds, one for 10 seconds. And I'm using protect, which is plus 5% on shield for 30 seconds. Not using soothing touch. I do have some scrolls. I don't really use those that much. I may use them in a battle, but they're not something I really rely on. I used to just duplicate them and sell them on 360. That was all I used to do with them. Because they didn't really weigh anything. I think that's why I used to do those. What did I weigh? I forget. They don't weigh much if they weigh anything. Yeah, they weigh like 0.1. Yeah, so you can get a crap ton of, like I have 5 spark ones. I could use those, but, not really need it. Some of the places I've hit on this run through so far. Let's see. Let me pull up my map here. Some of the Alien ruins. I've gone to Garlus Agia, which is east of Anvil, between there and Kvatch. Vilverne, obviously, right across from the sewers in the Imperial City, where you exit after the main beginning there. Kemen, which is east of Cheydinhal, up in the mountains. I went through that one. The only shrine I've found so far is Vermina's. Whoops, I don't want to fast travel there. I just clicked on that. That was not purposeful. I haven't started the arena yet either. I did the arena my last playthrough, so I may not jump right into that this one. I got to get over to Frostcrag Spire. But really next, I'm going to wander from Anvil to Cheydinhal. Probably stop at Camp Ales. I think there's a quest there for me. I'm going to avoid Kvatch. And I'll probably do the Sirens quest before I leave. I may as well work on that. I think that leads me north anyway. That leads me a little bit north of Anvil, along the coast, I believe. So I'm not going to get into the ghost ship in Anvil yet because I just don't have enough silver gear, weaponry to do that. And I also really need, I just got rid of, I got to get some better armor. I do have boots. I have boots. I only have leather pants. I don't have any greaves or anything. I gotta sell some of my stuff. I got leather gauntlets. I got chainmail gauntlets, so those aren't bad. But I need to work on my smithing skill, which in this one is just your repair skill, basically. So I got to work on that a bit. Let's see what else is there. But yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing there. Also, we have for those who play ESO, we have the 2 guilds, one on PC, one on Xbox One. I will eventually be on Xbox One. I pre-ordered the Fallout 4 bundle, so November 10th that'll be coming in, and I'm also going to pick up ESO for that probably a little bit after picking that up. So I'll be playing both of those games on Xbox One. So that'll be for the PC guild. It's I think you have to message Colin. I got to remember exactly. I forget exactly how the invitations go out and all, but both guilds are ASAPodcasting guilds. You may be able to search them that way. I know Juan started the one on Xbox One. He's Morokio. Let me see if I can remember how to spell that. Moroquillo, possibly. I'm pretty sure. And I believe Colin is CC Dowd on PC for that guild. So check those out. If I'll get the better information on that. I'm out of whack at the moment with figuring that out. Sorry, lost my train of thought. So doing this the second time through has me a bit out of whack. But I did forget about the guilds the first time, so it's a good thing I came back the second time. So I'll be hopping on there, and then I'll be getting back into Skyrim after probably next weekend to get ready for the roundtable on the 25th. We'll be finishing up, be going through, what's that called? Now I can't remember it. Oh my God, son of a gun. Forgotten Vale. Finishing up the Dawn Guard, heading to Forgotten Vale. Boethia quest. Who are we going to kill? Who's everybody going to kill? We're going to find that out. Will Lydia die? Will she live? Who knows? Who knows? Anything could happen in Oblivion. In Oblivion. Anything could happen in Skyrim. So, we'll be doing the Forgotten Vale. I'll probably be doing a bunch of that on YouTube. Colin uses our Twitch channel a lot, both, I believe. The Twitch channel is Skyrim Addict Podcast, just Skyrim Addict Podcast, and it's all one word, I believe. And YouTube, obviously, is ASAPodcasting. So you can go to both of those. The live stuff is on there. I have some Oblivion videos on there, obviously. And also check out our Twitch as well. I don't think that's in the close. And on November 14th, we'll be doing our charity event to raise money for Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, cff.org. If you would like to be involved in any way, you have a podcast or something like that, message me at either skyrimaddictpodcast@gmail.com or asapodcasting@gmail.com, either or on whatever kind of social media. But those are probably the easiest ways. I check those all the time anyway. And then, if you'd like to help out in any way or be a part of it in any way, just let me know. So we're going to raise money for cff.org, and that'll be from 8 a.m. Eastern to 8 p.m. Eastern, I believe, is what we're going to do Saturday the 14th. That was a great movie. That's the weekend after Fallout 4 comes out. So I'm sure we'll be streaming that a bunch of the time. I think we're going to bounce it back and forth and do a bunch of different stuff. And I'm sure people will be on Twitch streaming it. And I'm going to try and set it up so we can do an audio, just straight audio feed as well without the video. Because people can't always just have YouTube on the whole time. So I'm going to take a look at talk shows, see if I can do it through there. Use that in the past. But that's all I got for this time. Thanks for listening to Take 2 of a Skyrim Addict podcast. Remember, you can always join the Facebook group. We have some great discussions over there. And if you think about it, you can use the Amazon link in our show notes. Man, my throat is really dry. I have now been talking for over an hour. We'll be recording the Fallout feed later. I will also be on Intro to X this week, first-person shooter. I believe that'll be out on Wednesday. We'll be talking about the episode First-Person Shooter and the finale episode of the horrific television show Harsh Realm. So if you enjoy the X-Files and have a good sense of humor about the X-Files, feel free to check that out. Intro to X. I believe they're at intro2x.com, but you can just search Intro to X on your favorite podcatching application. That's all I have for this time. Take care, everyone. Thanks for listening to this episode of A Skyrim Addict. You can find all of our contact information, YouTube channel information, as well as other shows over at asapodcasting.com, including our newest show, The Fallout Feed. Special thanks to Claire Lafar for the show's artwork. You can find her stuff at etsy.com/MayaFirePrints, MayaFirePrints. And a thank you to Dan Bull for the use of his music in the roundtable open and close. You can find him on YouTube or iTunes. Just search Dan Bull. Once again, thanks for listening, and later, everyone.
must